Rick Watkins, and I'm with Chota Outdoor Gear, and this is Randy Ratliff, and he's on the Chota Pro staff. And we're going to tell you a little bit today about how to select and get started in fly fishing. Randy, you've seen everybody of all sorts in your guiding business, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
And you've seen some that have come on and have really no experience whatsoever.
Yes, sir.
That's who we're going to gear this toward today. So I would like to start with selecting a fly rod, a reel, a line, and how do you start that? Where do you start? Where do you start? I mean, where do you start at?
The first question I would ask people is, what type of water are you going to be fishing? Are you going to be fishing trout waters, or you're going to be using size 16, 18, or 20 flies? Are you going to be fishing freshwater ponds and rivers? Are you going to catch smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, bluegill? Or are you going to be fishing even in the saltwater, fishing the surf, those type of situations?
Randy, you just mentioned, some hook sizes, and you just threw those out there like they were candy, and I'm sure that is candy for you. But you've got an idea, you've got a fly in your cap there. What is that? I mean,
This is a size 16 trout fly. It's called a nymph. Nymphs are what the bugs are when they're under the water. They crawl around on the rivers and the rocks, and then they come to the surface and hatch out into the bugs that we see flying around in the air. 90% of the fish's feeding is done on the nymphs. So this is a predominant fly that most people are going to be throwing. Something that shape, that color, that size, that's going to be the predominant fly that most people are going to start out with.
So what size water would we be looking at? Are we looking at water that's 10 feet deep, or 10 inches deep, or 10 feet wide, or 100 foot wide, or what?
It can be any kind of water from 1 foot wide to 6 inches deep, as wide as 100 yards. You have pockets and pools and holes that are 20 to 30 feet. Trout live in a lot of various places. So you can use this nymph to catch these trout in a whole multitude of situations.
And this popper that I've got on my hat is a little bit bigger, a little bit larger, and it's more for bass?
Yeah, this would be more for freshwater bass, smallmouth, bluegill, crappie in some other places. It's also good for some saltwater fish.
Okay, so once you decide what your hook size is, and this is what size
That's
is
probably
that?
a size 2.
Size 2. Okay. So you start at the end, okay?
Yeah.
You're literally starting at the end, okay? The end of your line, what you're putting on it, and you're going toward what's the next thing you need? I mean, yeah.